Hi, my name is Peace Oseyenum and I'm an actress. I first started acting in a play nursery. So I was in The Three Little Bears and I was one of the little bears. And that was in nursery school, not like professional production. That was just in school. I did it in reception as well. But professionally, I would say I did my first play outside of like anything to do with school in 2010. And then I went to uni to do accounting and finance, worked in finance. That was like 7 years. And then I did my first play again after that whole break last year. So I've been working in acting for about 9 months full time. So yeah. The journey for me was that I think acting was just a hobby. So that's why when I went to uni to do accounting and finance, I believed that literally acting was just for children. It was just like a childhood dream. Like everybody wanted to be famous growing up at some point, so it wasn't anything serious. And yeah, when I went to uni, it was like I wasn't thinking about acting or anything performing arts related. I was just focused on like going to uni. And when I did that, I didn't do anything majorly creative apart from radio. I started a gospel radio show on campus in like 2011, and that was like my only little creative outlet. But I didn't do any performing per se, and I continued that in terms of radio until 2017. So still wasn't performing, was just working in the corporate world, you know, every single day on the spreadsheets, doing my ACCA, studying, and yeah, like there was no acting involved because I think I genuinely believed that I'd outgrown that kind of stuff. I genuinely believed it was just truly a hobby for when I was a child, and I didn't know it was actually something that was growing deeply inside of me. Like the desire to do it was growing like year by year. So I'd be in a situation where I'll just be at work and I'll be like, surely there's more to this, like surely I've been made for more things than just the spreadsheet that I'm looking at. And then I'll just go back to work and just continue to do what I need to do, and it'll keep like reoccurring until about, I'll say, end of 2017. That's when I started to ask questions like, okay, so how do we actually get into acting? Like, how does this work? What do people do? And I'd ask like friends who knew people, and they would give me like, you know, their kind of journey and what they did. But I still didn't really know what to do. I was in a play that never actually happened. So like I went to rehearsals for it. It got cancelled on the week of the performance. And then I was just like, wow, like I was this close. And then come 2018, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do part-time accounting and part-time acting because I needed that security of a salary, and I needed that security and that feeling of, okay, I can do my job, but I can also have my hobby. And I eventually just gave in to full-time. And that's also with the help of my friend who's a recruiter, and he had a really good role, which was quite attractive. So I just said, you know what, I'll do it. I'll just do it for a couple of months. And then after like 6 weeks, I was out there, literally out. And this time around, I didn't like feel down or upset or feel a certain kind of way. I was actually deep down, I was like, this means I can act. This means this is what I'm supposed to do. Like, so internally, I was happy. On the outside, I was just like, this is a weird feeling. Like, what do I tell my parents? But then deep down, I was like, yes, now I can do what I really want to do. Because I really believe that was a redirection of my path. And I believe that because of how I am, unless I would be physically pushed out of that safety net, I wouldn't have left. So I would have continued to have that kind of knocking on my chest of how am I going to do acting. I would continue to have that burning desire, but because of the safety net and because of just what I believed, which is that creative work can't be a career, I would have continued doing finance and been miserable. So after that, I did my first play after like 7 years, and that was at the Lyric Hammersmith under the direction of Tendai Moyo, who's an amazing director. Everyone needs to know about her. And I did that with some amazing girls with the open mic event at the Lyric. So that was really, really cool. And it sat amazingly in the part of my life where I had just left that role, and it was my first play after how many years, and it was like, if you like, a monopoly effect. So it was just, the momentum just picked up, and I got the chance to do quite a few bits and pieces, quite a few plays. Immediately after that, I got to sign with my current agent during that time as well. And I was just doing quite a lot of bits and pieces, and I just loved it. And it's been amazing. And come this year, I've started training as well. at Central, and they're amazing. They actually covered my fees as well, and I've just been like working as well in different parts of theatre, which is fun. Like I've got to play roles that I have no business playing. Like I'm a black girl, I have no business playing Dick Whittington, Antonio, Othello. I have no business playing male characters, but I've had the opportunity to play like strong leading male roles, and that's been just a brilliant experience. So that's been a journey so far, and I think the main thing for me, for my journey, isn't doing the work. Of course, that's what I want to do, but it's actually the mindset that's been renewed. The fact that I can now see that this is very possible, and not just because other people are doing it, and not just because I'm now doing it, but because with God, anything is possible. Like nothing is impossible with God, and just having that kind of transformation in my mindset has really just, I think, opened doors for me. Because once you believe you can do something, you can actually do it. But if you don't believe it, you will continue to stay in a cycle. It's like when you tell someone who's really insecure that they're beautiful, it doesn't matter the compliment that you give them. If they don't believe it, they'll continue to think that lie. And now I don't need to live in this kind of lie of, oh, you can't be an actor, it's not realistic. Like I don't need to live in that kind of mindset because I'm actually doing it. So that's incredible for me. So I realised something about myself, which is once I get an idea, I can't really shift it. Or I try to shift it but it keeps coming up, like the whole acting thing, it will keep coming back up. So I had an idea to create a couple of short stories. And I was like, how am I going to do this? I don't have the money. I'm not a writer. Don't have any equipment, like how? And then amazingly, I got some funding through this organisation who, what do? They fund different projects that people are doing. And because I was doing a project on, completely separate from acting, I was doing a project on homelessness, and I was trying to come with solutions on that. They asked me, what do you want for yourself? And I was like, I want to be an actor and I want to train and but I can't afford it, blah, blah. So they gave me like a small amount of money to kind of put into my career. And so I decided to use that money to fund the ideas that I had for the 2 pieces that I produced, 3 pieces that I produced. And with that, I managed to connect with a upcoming writer who's really talented, called Thara. And I have like actors who are friends. And I was searching really high and low for a production company that could bring out what I want within my tight budget. And I found Film Art Productions, and they're really cool. So that's kind of how I did it. That's how I produced it. I think now, from what I can see, being proactive is what's really getting people out there. And when I say out there, I don't mean in terms of Hollywood knocking on your door, but I mean in terms of you doing what you love. If you can't get it through somebody opening doors for you, you may have to create a door for yourself. And that's something that I noticed really, really early from last year, actually. Last January, I remember I wanted to apply for work, and I realised I can't just send them an email saying, hey, I want to be an actress, please, can I come to the audition? Like you actually have to show them something, a headshot, a show reel, you've got to show them something. So the first thing that I put out there was actually a monologue. So I had written this monologue out of improvisation, and I asked my friend, she's got a production company called Kingdom Focus Media, and I just asked her to film it for me. And I found like a really cost-effective studio, and I filmed that, and that was like my first piece of material. And that's what kind of got me the auditions that I was getting at the beginning of the year. And through that, I just started creating more little pieces here and there until I was able to get enough content from the work I was doing. So yeah, like you have to be proactive. And because we've got so many resources, it's really, really easy to create something. I know like we always want high quality work and we always want it to be at the level of an Oscar award winning film, but just being proactive, I think, is enough to get you into the room, and then you can build from there. So that's kind of what I did. Like the monologue that I filmed is like, I don't use it for auditions anymore, but it exists, it's kind of just there. The work that I now produced is what I do use in my show reel. So yeah, just be proactive. And there are people out there, like there are loads of people who want to create stuff. So if you connect with other like-minded people, you'll be able to get something done, and you can just build your way up, really. So I remember when like I changed up the material in my show reel, and I changed up like a couple of headshots, and I kind of slowly put it out there. I noticed like the quality of work I was getting seen for just kind of changed. At first I was like, oh, it just magically happened, and then I realized, no, you actually changed your material in November, and then after that you've been getting like better work. So there was a correlation between quality and then the work that you get. So you can't how can I put it? You can't isolate the two, and I'm sure that happens with a lot of people as well. I mean, there's still more stuff that I want to do, which I haven't had an opportunity to do just yet. But at least in terms of where I am now, it's much better than what I was doing before. I don't have like anymore. I don't have like set plans anymore because I kind of live by certain principles now, and those principles include being patient. Because I'm pretty proactive and sometimes I want something now, like immediately. I've come to realize if you're prayerful, if you know that you're on the right path, if you're proactive and you're working and you've got peace of mind with what you're doing, and something that you want still doesn't come, then just be patient and be consistent. So for me, it's just, I hope to just keep working consistently. Whatever work I do, so long as it's good quality, I hope to keep doing that. I'm doing quite a lot right now in the next 5 weeks, which is quite challenging. So kind of pushing myself to do challenging productions and challenging work. Finish off my training in August. I'm hoping after August I can actually go 100% all out, because when you're training you can't apply for every job, unfortunately. So I'm hoping after August I can do a lot more. I do have some ideas, and like I mentioned earlier, once I have an idea and I can't shift it, eventually it comes out. So I'm hoping with a bit more refinement, maybe if I can get like a mentor as well, I can make that happen, because I've like got so many episodes lined up for it. It's like really exciting in my head. So like I'm having fun in my head, like I'm even making myself laugh when I visualize some of the episodes. So I want to bring that out.